In an alternate dimension, the original Sonic movie design was never changed. In an alternate dimension, the movie would have came out to horrible reception. The movie would have been review bombed by Sonic fans and casual audience members everywhere. In an alternate dimension, this movie would have been yet another stain on Sonic's legacy. But that didn't happen. SEGA and Paramount listened to us. They heard the fans' voices. The fans united in one loud voice and said, "We do not agree with this. This is not okay." They listened. They redesigned Sonic. And because of that redesign, because of them listening to us, all of those bad things didn't happen. The movie received such a positive rating when it came out. It released with a huge amount of success. $306 million worldwide at the box office. And it ended up selling 2 million digital copies just recently. Still going. This movie was quite the roller coaster ride. And you guys were on that ride with me. You guys know everything that happened. Reiterating everything would be beating a dead horse. But I feel like at times, especially when we hear news like this, it's good to know where we started and to know where we are now. It's been a while, and I could not be more excited to know that it is now confirmed. We are getting a sequel to the Sonic movie. The Sonic movie that treated our character with respect. The Sonic movie that treated our character and gave him so much more character than we ever could have asked for in such a long time. It was such a charming movie. It was a well-made movie. It was well-written. It was funny. It wasn't totally original. It had some flaws, but for a video game movie, for a movie that we thought was going to bomb initially, it was an awesome time. And this movie, honestly, I could not be more thankful and grateful for what it did. Beyond just watching it, going to see it with my friends, all the discussions I got to have with you guys along this journey, and the fact that I get to do it again is the best thing ever. I am so excited. So yes, the Sonic movie is getting a sequel. It is confirmed by Paramount and Sega Sammy, who said that they are beginning the early production work for creating this movie. And I already said, I already did in an old video, I already talked about, what I want in the sequel. Again, and I highly recommend it for anyone that wants to know what I want in the Sonic movie sequel. Sonic fan, again, please give it a watch. But I'll reinstate some stuff in this video. But again, this movie has done so many good things for Sonic the Hedgehog. It put Sonic the Hedgehog back on the map, not for just Sonic fans. Sonic fans have been with this series forever, but casual gamers and the casual audience, I felt like were disconnected from Sonic for a while. But this movie did something amazing where it showed that the love for Sonic the Hedgehog is still there, not just in the United States, not just in Japan, but worldwide. Worldwide, everyone cared about how he looked. They cared about how this iconic character looked in his movie, and it's the #1 grossing video game movie of all time. Our Blue Hero did that, and Our Blue Hero is getting a video game movie sequel. It's already, getting a video game movie and having it be successful and well reviewed is already rare enough. For a video game movie to be successful and to be reviewed well, and on top of that, to get a sequel, that's rare. And Our Blue Guy did that. Our Blue Hero did that. And I could not be more happy to be a Sonic fan now more than ever. This is a time for pure celebration. Pure celebration for all Sonic fans across the world. Seriously, it is. And you're right, Jeff Fowler. I am ready for round 2 with the Blue. I am absolutely ready to see what you guys have in store for us. And I could tell, and I'm sure you guys could tell based off the reception you had from the first movie, that people loved Sonic the Hedgehog. They loved the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. And again, this goes back a little bit to what I want in the Sonic movie sequel video that I made. And what you guys teased at the end with Tales of the movie. Sonic's world and his characters and the lore around Sonic the Hedgehog from the games is what people want, and I have no doubt that they will probably lean more into that area for Sonic. And I really hope Paramount might give this movie even a bigger budget than what it had before to make a full I'm not gonna say a full CGI movie. I assume Sonic being on Earth will still be there in the movie some places. There being humans will be there in some places. James Marsden will probably still be there. Jim Carrey obviously is still there. So it's not full CGI, but Jim Carrey said he wants to wear a fat suit. I remember that was recent. Jim Carrey wants to wear a fat suit. Make him go full Robotnik. Let's go to Sonic's world. Let's take Tails. Let Jim Carrey's Robotnik make Metal Sonic. Let's do the lore of Knuckles. Let's get Knuckles in there. Let's go to Angel Island. Let's get the Chaos Emeralds. Let's do the Master Emeralds. There's so many possibilities you could do, and your first movie was the perfect first step needed to envelop this amazing world. This movie, initiated why Knuckles will be in the story. This movie is a good first step. It was a good prologue to the real adventure Sonic will have in the future with Sonic, with Tails, with Knuckles, and again, who knows? Metal Sonic being the main antagonist in the next one, that would be an amazing idea. There are so many possibilities. I could go on forever. I'm just really excited that I get to be on this journey yet again and again. Whenever trailers come out, possible, pictures come out of, what they're thinking of doing, the world we're going to be in. I damn well I'm going to make a good video on every single one of those. So definitely stay tuned to this channel. This sequel also gives us the amazing opportunity of doing things that we may have wanted in the first movie but didn't quite happen, and we could probably get it now in the second movie. And there's some important things that are just beyond, doing things story-wise, but I would really, really love if the fathers of Sonic could have a cameo. I know originally Yuji Naka talked about on Twitter that he wanted to, and it was actually meant to have a cameo in the first movie, but he ended up not getting a call for some reason to be in there. So again, I think Noto Oshima, Yuji Naka, and Hirokazu Yoshihara, again, I always get his name wrong, so I apologize, but I really want all three of them, the three fathers of Sonic, to somewhere get a small cameo in this movie. They really deserve it. And again, just for how far and how long this character has gone on, it's a celebration. This movie really is a celebration to see how far Sonic has come. And again, this movie, beyond the video games, does well for the video games as well. Not because I want a video game movie tie-in, that's not what I'm saying here, but again, I felt like for the longest time, SEGA and Sonic Team may not have saw Sonic as a series that is worth putting a lot of money toward. No, I didn't say Siri. I said, no, why are you? But a lot of the times I felt like recently they don't see this series as, something to put a big budget towards. If you guys know, Sonic has been having low budget games for a while now. We haven't had a full budget Sonic game in a long time. And I felt like that's because they just think that maybe Sonic is not that viable of an asset to put a lot of money towards. But I feel like this movie in particular proved them wrong. And the fact that we're getting a sequel now shows SEGA, hey, even with what's happening in the world right now, I don't want to say it because I don't want this video to get flagged or anything. But with everything that's happening in this world, the movie didn't even go to China or Japan. Huge markets for Sonic the Hedgehog and for movies in general, and this movie probably would have did even better. Dare I say maybe 600 million if it was in Japan and China, but because of the events happening in the world, it didn't happen. It only went digital recently. So I feel like Paramount knows that because of what's happening, it probably would have did even better, and the sequel would probably bring in even more money, honestly, because of the fact that this movie kind of got, the short end of the stick because of what happened with the world. But again, so many opportunities for the sequel to do a lot of things that the first movie probably didn't get to do. And I'm sure Jim Carrey will revise his role as Robotnik. He mentioned it many times that he would love to revise his role and to even wear a fat suit. Wow. The love for this is so surreal. If this happened a year and a half ago and somebody told me there's a video game movie that has these big actors like Jim Carrey and they actually really care about these characters, I wouldn't believe you for a second. I'd be like, they probably don't know anything about Sonic the Hedgehog. They probably treat these characters like crap. But this movie has been pretty faithful to both the characters and Sonic's world. Sonic being raised by an owl, we could probably get more insight into Longclaw. We could get more insight into the Echidna tribe. And again, that whole lore like I talked about in my sequel. So many opportunities, and who knows, maybe if this movie does well, dare I say it, if this movie does well and we get a sequel, a Sonic movie 3, and I mentioned it in my sequel, what I want in the sequel video, maybe we could go back to the world and do the human world and do the adventure era stuff, the adventure stories. and get Shadow the Hedgehog in there. So many opportunities. And again, you know, Jeff Fowler, everyone at Paramount, SEGA, you know, you guys could tell from the first movie, listening to the fans was the way to go. And I'm sure you guys won't disappoint this time at all with listening to the fans. I'm sure sticking to the source material is not only the safest thing to do, it's already made there for you. This world is there for you, packaged up in a bow, saying, here, make a movie out of me. And if you ever need any guidance, listen to the fans first. That is the main lesson we've learned from the first movie, and I'm sure you guys all know it very well now. Listen to the fans, and you'll make everyone happy. And again, I could not be a bigger supporter for the Sonic movie. You know, you guys even sent me this poster, Paramount, signed by Jim Carrey, and you know, I got it framed immediately, and I'm so happy that this journey is continuing. This blue guy is going on the big screen again. That means the world to me. Thank you, Jeff Fowler, Tim Miller, all of SEGA Sammy, all of Paramount, all the animators. That's a big one too. What made the first movie so enjoyable was the animations of Sonic, how expressive he was, how beautifully he moved in those action scenes, how fast he was. I think it's really important because it shows with what you guys have put on the website so far that you're going to get a lot of the same people to make the movie again. But I feel like it's also important to maybe track down the animators. I know the animation studio sadly closed down, and you know, a lot of people were saying it may have been because of this movie, but I don't think that's true. If you look further into it, it may have been inevitable no matter how this movie would have went, redesigned or not. But those people were so talented at what they do. I really think it's really important to rehire all these animators that made this movie such a trip and an amazing time, and to hire them again because they did a fantastic job, and I wouldn't want it any other way, to get the original animators and just to do it again. Just do it again with a different story, maybe even a more fleshed out story in Sonic's world. It's endless what you can do. It seems like Variety were the first people to break this news. Looks like they had an exclusive scoop, and I'm going to read a little excerpt from there just so you guys get read up on the official information we know so far. Paramount Pictures and SEGA Sammy confirmed on Thursday that they have commenced development on the sequel to the live-action family comedy. The sequel would re-team the filmmakers, with Jeff Fowler directing, Pat Casey and Josh Miller writing the script. The movie is still in the development stage, so decisions have not been made yet regarding casting or the production start date. And I think casting's a big thing here. Again, as I mentioned, Jim Carrey being Robotnik, I think that's a given. He wants to do the role, and I'm sure Paramount will probably pay to get Jim Carrey again, because he was probably a main part, or a big part, for people buying their ticket. I know for my family, my parents who don't know much about Sonic, but they were excited for this movie, and especially knowing Jim Carrey is in it, they were eager to buy their ticket. So buying Jim Carrey again is critical, and I'm sure, no doubts in my mind, they'll do that. Now, there is something that might change, and it is the Tails voice actor, Colleen. The voice actor for Tails in the first movie was the same voice actor we have it in the games, and honestly, I would love to have Colleen again. I know there's memes going around of Tom Holland. Again, that's all just like memes. I doubt that's something people actually want. But having Colleen voice Tails, it's probably going to be hard for that to happen, because I guess Colleen is not a big name people know in the general audience. Sadly, I think, because she's very talented and one of the best voices of Tails we've had thus far. So I would love to see Colleen as Tails again, if possible, since she already did such an amazing role in the first movie. But if they did recast her, I would not be that surprised again. But for the sake of consistency, I would love it, and for the sake of knowing that we are safe with her voice as Tails, I would absolutely love to have Colleen voice Tails. And of course, The Rock. I would love to have The Rock in the Sonic movie, whether he's the president or maybe even voicing Knuckles. I would be down with that too. Again, so many different, and again, The Rock, that's such a big name. That's another reason people would buy their tickets. Getting The Rock in there would be fantastic. I would love to see The Rock in some way, form, or fashion in the movie. He's a Sonic fan. He used to play Sonic as a kid. He even mentioned it on his Twitter. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't know what dream I'm in. It feels just like yesterday. It feels like yesterday where that original poster came out and I was screaming. Oh man. Oh, the journey we've been on. And again, and I get to have another meetup with my friends. Like, and we get to watch a sequel to the Sonic movie. I'll stop gushing now. I just wanted to let you guys know my reaction to this news, because I know we knew it was kind of inevitable. We knew it was going to possibly happen, but there was a little part of me that was like, you know, would they take that chance again? Would they risk it again? You know, would the sequel make the same amount, maybe even more? But I think Paramount knows deep down it absolutely would. If they do this again, make a sequel to this amazing movie, to build upon Sonic's world, to have the movie released worldwide in theaters everywhere without any hindrances in the world happening. This sequel this sequel not only can make the same amount, but I believe personally that it could make even more. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. It's a fun journey, and we're going back on it again. This is Sam, signing out. See you later, procrastinator.